everyone, and welcome to Troy Today. I'm your host, Sarah Gillis, and today we will be discussing the recent events of the Presidential Inauguration of Joseph R. Biden. With us today, we have several Troy University students as well as a faculty member who are here to offer their opinions and their thoughts on the recent inauguration, as well as give their thoughts on the transition of leadership that we have just seen in our country. With us, we have Dr. Onik Lewis. Dr. Lewis is a professor in the Department of Health and Human Services. So obviously we have a new vice president. She is the first female vice president of the United States. What are your thoughts on this?
Not only is she the first female vice president, she's also the first female vice president of color. I love the fact that representation is now being seen in one of the highest seats of the land. I love the fact that she's a female and she's also a female of color, because I have daughters, and the fact that they can see representation in that seat is tremendous. It's huge.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. Next up, we have Miss Shelby Hawkins. Shelby is a senior nursing major from Eufaula, Alabama. Just to get started, as a woman, what does it mean to you that we now have our first ever female vice president?
And for me as a woman, this makes me think of myself as a little girl when I was told, that's a man's job, or you can do anything you want, but men normally do this. So I think it sends a really strong message to younger girls who are watching this, especially African American girls and other minorities, that you can be in this position of office.
Amazing Grace, what do you think that says about the unity in our society and nation today, that someone of the Republican Party was willing to participate in the inaugural event?
So I think that Garth Brooks, that's who you're talking about. I think that him performing, he is a very outspoken Republican, very conservative, to each their own. But I think that that is a call to unity for Democrats and Republicans alike.
Today we also have Mr. Nicholas Kryson. Nicholas is a junior from Troy, Alabama. Thanks. Okay, so what are your thoughts and opinions moving forward with this transition of leadership here in our nation?
Well, I think with any transition, there's always room for growth. I don't exactly know how Biden will do versus how Trump did, but I am looking forward to seeing how our country does go from here with uniting, because we are a very split country at the moment.
Awesome. And my last question is just regarding the events of the inauguration itself. Did anything really stick out to you?
I thought it was really cool that they had a 22-year-old reading a poem at the inauguration. That was really cool for my generation.
And last but certainly not least, we have Zaina, who is originally from Jordan, but recently moved to Montgomery, Alabama. How do you feel about the transition of leadership that we've seen in our country yesterday through the inauguration, and what are your thoughts on that?
To be honest, I was a little bit, it was a little bit nerve-wracking leading up to it, because honestly it was like I didn't know what to expect going into it, but I was pleasantly surprised. Everything went well. The inauguration itself was beautiful in my opinion, and it kind of makes me a little bit excited to see what's to come.
And just a second question, clearly CDC, local and national officials have been very adamant about social distancing and whatnot, and we didn't exactly see that yesterday at the inauguration. What are your thoughts on that?
There wasn't any moment of time where they didn't have masks on unless they were talking into the microphone.
All right, thank you so much to everyone who joined us, and we will be sure to see you next time. I'm your host, Sarah Gillis, and this is Troy Today.